All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. We are tuning into Game 3 of the semifinals matchup of the Fast Pitch HitTrax Open. My name's Elena Bowman. I'm joined by my colleague Andrew Barry. We have a matchup between the 7th seed Emily Benson going against the 15 seed Lilli Piper. Emily took Game 1. We saw a serious response from Lilli Piper in Game 2, and we are excited to get things rolling here with a winner advancing to the finals matchup in this Game 3. What do you think, Andrew?
I'm loving it. This is awesome. Game 3, two highly offensive players that are able to just put together some serious streaks. Emily started out with a couple quick outs, but both of these players have put up a boatload of runs through this tournament. This is the kind of action that we want to see. This is why we're here, as Lilli starts it out with a double in the gap.
Yeah, and this is awesome. And a little uncharacteristic out of Emily Benson. We've seen her do through her first 3 games in the bracket round, start first pitch with a home run to dead center. So I don't know that we've seen her make 3 quick outs in the tournament so far. A little bit of a slow start, but gives Lilli an opportunity to maybe jump ahead. So let's talk about the tournament format. You are looking at a sync play matchup. So on the right, you have Lilli Piper, who's competing out of her alma mater, Ohio State, in Columbus, Ohio. On the left, you have Emily Benson, Western Washington grad, competing out of DBAT and at Columbia Basin in Washington. So the way this will work, we go through 6 innings together. Most runs at the end of this game will advance to the finals round. But as you see, this is a perfect example. We only advance inning by inning. So with Emily making 3 quick outs in the first inning and Piper still rocking there, putting some runs on the board, looks like she's going to strike first here in this game with a 1-run lead in the first inning. Emily's got nothing to do but watch until Piper wraps up her first inning. So we saw Piper with a hot game in Game 2. Looks like she's just going to keep it rolling here into Game 3. And Emily's going to need to catch her rhythm pretty quick and not let this get too out of hand.
Yeah, there's a second out. Good sign to see if you're Emily. You do not want to start out this game with a 5-10 run deficit. So we'll see what happens here. A ground out to shortstop, and that's the 3rd out. All right, so pretty quick inning here. These players have both taken a lot of swings, and that's probably one of the fastest innings of this matchup with only one run scored. I think it might have been the same in game number 2. And Emily steps right up and hits the ball 87.6 miles an hour to left center for a 270-foot bomb.
We want to see. That's awesome. She has the ability to do it, to your point, Andrew. She's got the ability to put up those crooked numbers in each and every single inning. And so for her to come back in the second inning and make such a statement, that's fantastic. And that's, I think, the action, the back and forth that we're going to see all game long.
Oh, there's a ground ball to shortstop. So she's got runners on second and third with 1 out. Lilli has hit 1 home run this inning. She's up 2-1 total. 2 pitches into the at-bat. Emily mashes another ball in the gap. That's definitely going to score 2. That's a little bit too high from... Oh, yeah, what a catch by the center fielder on Lilli's hit there.
Wow, and Emily Benson at 18 degrees sneaks over that left center field fence. That's such a hard hit ball. You rarely see balls at such a low launch angle at 18 degrees fly over the fence, but it was just struck so well at 83 miles an hour off the bat, sneaks over the fence. She is now starting to put up some serious runs.
The power of both of these players is just tremendous. Emily has consistently hit the ball over 250 feet. Lilli can just go on absolute runs and has the ability to put it upwards of 87 miles an hour, 88 miles an hour. Same thing with Emily. 81 miles an hour there at 17 degrees for a double in the gap. So we're moving here. They're going head-to-head right now. This is where it gets fun. We got offense on both sides as there's a bomb by Emily.
Opposite field. Nice job.
She's quickly taking an 8-3 lead here.
Yeah, well, I won't be surprised to see Piper strike back, but Emily is finding her groove. She lost it a little bit in the second game, the same way that we saw Lilli lose her rhythm in the first game, but it seems like both players are clicking on all cylinders right now.
Yeah, and she just flew out there, but she had that last, it was 88 miles an hour off the center field wall. Lilli, there's another
Bye
bomb by
ball.
Emily. Lilli has
See ya.
ended her inning 10-3 with 1 out left still for Emily. And that's going to end it
That's not going to
there.
do it.
No, that's not going to do it. So as we wrap up this inning, if we and we're going on to the third, I think one thing that was kind of interesting. I don't know if you saw this too, but it seemed as though Emily was almost taking 2 swings to every 1 swing that Lilli took. So a little bit, and she already steps up. She has her first out, but she's going right away. A
Faster
little bit of a
clip.
quicker pace, right?
Right, absolutely. Yeah, Emily likes to work at that faster clip. We see her typically kind of run and gun that first pitch she tries to put in play to where if you look at Piper, even on her tapes, she steps out of the box, she gathers herself. She's a pretty energetic player, kind of a little bit of a spark plug, if you will. She gets herself fired up in between every single pitch. So they definitely work at a different pace. What I will say about Emily Benson, what I really like about her strategy is she doesn't let Piper get too far away in terms of the inning. So if she
Mm-hmm.
sees herself make an out or two, she'll step out and she'll watch Piper, and she'll just kind of let it play out, and then before she steps back into the box. So I think it ends up working out towards the second half of the inning. But you're right, definitely a different clip in terms of gameplay.
There's a nice shot in the left center gap at 85 miles an hour for Emily. So she's got 1 out, runner on second. Lilli with 1 out, nobody on base. You'd like to see Lilli cut into this a little bit. We're going to be halfway through the game after this inning. It's a 6-inning format. Again, 7 runs, though, can happen in the blink of an eye. So this is...
Yeah, we are absolutely flying through this game. Another ball in the gap for Lilli Piper. And you know what, Andrew? It's kind of interesting. I was thinking about this before this game started. Looks like that's going to be a fly out, but still leaves a runner on second base. They're both a little bit of Cinderella stories in their own right. So you got Emily Benson, who's obviously the higher seed. She's a 7 seed, has had a phenomenal tournament, has just had a stellar showing so far. Both just barreled up some balls for a couple of hits. It's a nice job on either side of the screen. But there were 3 criteria to be eligible to play this tournament. That's a bomb. See you later. Right in that right center field gap for Emily Benson. She's starting to close, pad her lead a little bit. The criteria to participate was either to be an Olympian, to shot. Gosh, they are just putting balls in play left and right. I can't even get through a story. That's awesome. They are absolutely mashing right now. Both of them hitting it right on the nose. So the eligibility to get into this tournament, you either had to be an Olympian, a pro softball player, graduate in 2020 or 2019. Emily Benson was a graduate in 2019 of Western Washington. Another shot at a Lilli Piper. She's going to start to close in on this lead with still 2 outs to play with here in the third. So she's really made a name for herself throughout the course of this tournament, going against Olympians and those pro athletes. 27 athletes in the opening round are coming from Athletes Unlimited. And Lilli Piper comes into this game as the 15 seed out of 16 in the opening bracket. So they both making it to the Final Four to have such a head-to-head 3-game showdown. We're lucky to see this matchup. And I'll tell you what, I don't know that we could have asked for a more competitive series.
No, and these two are as you see, Emily sitting just able to watch at this point. Lilli with a chance to come back and close the gap here. She did right there. Now it's a 4-run lead for Emily. But these players are we had a lot of big names in this, and they're playing to compete to advance to face the 13 seed in Amber Schisler, who another talked about the eligibility. She was another person eligible from the collegiate format where she played. She also played internationally in Austria, but a 13 seed versus potentially a 7 or a 15 seed. It's been a tournament of upsets. Really great to see these athletes come into their own, and I think you're seeing that these players just have nice, compact, smooth, efficient swings on both sides. Lilli really doesn't need to put too much effort into it. I shouldn't say that. She puts a lot of effort, but it's just smooth and efficient. And Emily, You can see the way she gathers herself and keeps the rhythm going with her hands. Nice and compact swing. That's the piece where if you're able to consistently deliver the barrel, that's what's going to help you in this format. And that's what we've seen from both these players and Amber, who's already put herself into the finals.
Yeah, absolutely. And the play is talking right now. You know, it's the game right now does not know where you played ball, where you're coming from, what made you eligible for this tournament. We just know if you're stepping up in big at bats, and it's pretty cool to see these head to head matchups. Almost, so we're seeing a lot of will to win here, and Lilli Piper is a fantastic example of that. She sneaks by in the first opening round with a 16-14 win over Morgan Howe. And then you see her here on her fourth game of the day. You're looking at about 70 at bats on average per game. So look at her just continuing to find a way to deliver, continuing to find a way to score runs, and she is closing in on this gap against Emily Benson.
Yeah, and Lilli was, again, the 15 seed. She was only 4 runs away in the qualifier round of not making the cut to the bracket. So
yeah, she sneaked on in.
She did, and either way, I think either one works. But she did. She snuck in, and now you see her cut into the deficit a little bit. She's only down 4 runs. She's taking a little breather before starting off the 4th inning. Emily was standing around a little bit, so she fires it up right away and just goes yard again. She's 17 for 26 in this game so far. Lilli is 14 for 23. Pretty evenly matched. This is exactly what we want coming down to the final 3 innings of the ball game. Another one, Lilli, opposite field home run. She really has some opposite field power.
Yeah, she sure does. She's used the field well. We've seen her drive the gaps. Nice! That cleared the grandstands. Emily Benson, holy cow, 290 feet, 81 miles an hour off the bat. And that's a quick out at a Lilli, too. So it's
look at that one.
When you're in a rhythm, you're in the rhythm. I think that hit the top of the foul pole,
32 degrees, 312 feet. That one, I think, hit the light pole, halfway up that light pole in left field.
I like where those are, though. Now, this is interesting. We have not seen Emily use the hard left side. We haven't seen her be super pull hitting approach in these opening rounds, but she all of a sudden is just working over that left side of the field, clearing the left center fence. She's on a roll.
She's teeing off. Finally gets one out there. Wow, what a run.
Yep. Love it.
Lilli's hanging tough. She's not backing down at all. A little bit of a 7-run deficit here now, but still only 1 out with the runner on second base.
Yeah, and it looks like this machine, all of a sudden, those takes, we haven't seen really Emily Benson take too many pitches throughout the course of the tournament at all. That's a bomb for Lilli. That's a 2-run shot. She needed that. Again, continues to keep this game close. Lilli is fighting back with every swing. She does not want to see Emily expand on her lead whatsoever. But again, we haven't really seen Emily use that left side of the field too often. She's more been working middle, if anything, opposite right center side of the field. But kind of looks like the machine is now starting to feed her in, and she's taking it. Holy cow. I mean, did she hit a 320-foot bomb over left field? I think we saw that, right? And there's another one.
Wow. 7-run lead still, 22 in for Emily, 15 in for Piper. This is what these two have done all tournament. Another one from Emily, 78 at 41 degrees. She's on fire.
Wow.
She's not missing
Lilli
right now.
Lilli just needs to hold on until this streak ends for Emily. But Emily is on an absolute roll. So we got to see Piper. We got to see Piper do more than that. That hurts. A double play ball to end the inning for Lilli as Emily just continues to tee off. Wow.
That was a huge double play and a second out for Emily there. But wow, what a rally killer. So as it sits, 9 runs, if Emily stays where she's at, there's a base knock to left field. 9 runs, very, very much within reach for Lilli, without a doubt, especially with 2 more innings to go.
Ooh, not if
Wow.
Emily keeps doing stuff like that. Holy cow. That was a tank, 275 feet. She got all of it. And she is just not missing right now.
We haven't seen this has been the most impressive inning so far, I think, from any hitter. We're just with the distance, 86 miles an hour at 33
320
degrees.
feet.
Are you kidding
Get
me?
out of here.
Are you kidding me?
She is unconscious right now. She is absolutely squaring up every ball she sees.
She just put a dent in the left center field wall with that one too. Just in a
Wow.
rhythm, and not she is only taking a quick step back in between swings. You can tell she's flowing right now.
Come on, Emily Benson.
Yeah, she
Give it
mishit
a
that
rest.
one.
A 3-run bomb. Gosh,
She mishit that one.
And the inning finally ends. You got to think Piper did a little bit of a rain dance for a little luck to cool Emily off. That was wild.
What a run. What a run. Okay, here we go. So we got 2 innings left, 15 runs. 15-run deficit for Lilli Piper. Emily Benson with a comfortable lead. She just went on an absolute tear if you missed it. And she's going to take a quick breather, catch her breath. Lily's excited to get rolling, and she starts it off with a double. We've seen Lilli put up 15-run innings before. The problem is she could put up a 15-run inning, and Emily could do the same, and it couldn't cut into this lead. So we're going to have to see not only, like you said earlier, not only Lilli does need to step it up, but Emily needs to cool off, and that's just does not appear to be happening.
Yeah, but that's what Lilli needs to do in the bottom right-hand side of your screen. She needs to get herself fired up. She's got to kind of get her vibe back to where she's hyped up. We've seen that's where Lilli does her best slice of hitting. Don't worry about what Emily's doing. If I were Lilli, that would be my approach. Don't even look at her side of the screen. I don't want to know. I know that every swing she takes is a home run right now, so I just got to keep taking care of my own business and figure out a way to put balls off on the other side of the fence.
I think that's a great point.
You can clear that gap.
That's a great point. You don't want to look up and see what she's doing very often right now, because it can be a little bit demoralizing. You just have to focus on what you can do here. So and she's doing it. She has no outs. She has, I think, 3 runs in this inning so far. And again, look at that. 80 miles an hour, 38 degrees, 280-foot 2-run shot. Just like you said, she's a machine.
She's putting on a show right now. She is putting on an absolute show. Emily Benson, this is such an impressive piece of hitting. So let's talk a little bit about what's on the line here. So if you're tuning in, you're looking at the semifinal matchup between Emily Benson and Lilli Piper. This is the final game to decide a best-of-3 series. That's a nice shot out of Lilli. Both players have already secured $1,000 for making it to the semifinals round. A win here guarantees a bump of $3,000, as the second place of this tournament is going to be taking home $4,000. But even more than that, they're going to have an opportunity to play for the grand prize of $10,000. So a lot riding on a win here. We're in the 5th inning of 6 total innings to play, and we will see who will advance to the semifinals, to the finals round, to face Amber Schisler.
Lilli just lined out with a missile to center fielder. So now what we've quickly seen become a 20 run lead for Emily Benson, still with no outs, runners on first and third here. She's got 2 pitches into this at bat. Lilli has 2 outs. She's taken a little bit of a step back. I don't think that's a bad idea here. But Emily Benson, 84 miles an hour, a bomb to left center field. She is hungry, and she wants a spot in this national championship or the title game here. Look at that.
And she just put the exclamation point on your sentence. Wow. As you were speaking, 296 feet. She wants a shot at that finals round, and she's showing it right now.
Just enjoy the show. She's just teeing off. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's an absolute fireworks show going on right now.
44 runs, and Lilli is crushing it, but what are you supposed to do?
Yeah, it's tough to compete. I mean, and again, the benefit of playing against somebody in real time is you get those extra juices flowing. You can go at bat with each other. The downside, the pitfall of that is, you look up at the score, and even when you're squaring up balls and hitting home runs, you're seeing them do the same thing. It's tough to keep your momentum going and stay focused on what you need to do to advance.
And
So
somehow she
Lilli has
lines
now
out.
Yeah, Lilli has now finished her fifth inning. Emily Benson's still working with two more outs in the fifth. So Lilli will have three outs to try to mount a pretty big, significant comeback against Emily Benson. And that's even if Emily doesn't score any more runs right now, which I'm not sure that's going to be the case whatsoever.
You can't finish a sentence without her hitting a home run right now. It's absolutely relentless. She's putting a statement on this. You can tell like you said, she's really started to use the left side of the field here. She keeps rolling over. Looks like some foul balls to the left side, and she's got two pitches into the set bat. But I mean, 49 runs, only with one out here in the fifth. I think it's safe to say she's really secured her spot. We won't count Lilli out with the offensive output we've seen her put together. But last inning, I mean, Emily Benson put up a 16-run inning. I don't know what she's at this inning. I can't keep track. There it is, 83 miles an hour, 302 feet over the grandstands and left.
Wow. Wow.
Again.
She is a machine.
So if you're Amber Schisler looking on,
Wow.
what's going through your head right now?
Wow. I'm not even sure what someone would do to combat this, but it's just so fun to watch her compete. And I think her back was up against the wall here in this game. She had an impressive showing in game one, and then didn't put up the same run production in game two. So it's so fun to see the competitors that come out. When they're down to their last out in an inning, or backs up against the wall, they need this game to advance. I mean, Emily Benson just absolutely showing us what she's made of.
Holy smokes. 53-19. Emily showing no signs of slowing down. Ben, the Western Washington University grad. Lilli Piper has had a fantastic tournament so far, putting people down left and right to get her way all the way to this game 3 of the semifinals. You have to respect the effort she's put together. It's going to take a miracle here for her to make a comeback. Not to say it's out of the question as she starts out with a bomb to center field, but just so far, a tremendous tournament from Lilli. She did put up 61 runs last game, so we'll see. She has it in her. Maybe she can put something together. You never know, but I think she's going to have some fun here and just kind of enjoy what's going on.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think if you're Lilli Piper, you're going to take these last three outs, or you give it everything you got. You're in an environment with your collegiate hitting coach at your alma mater. I think you have a kind of nothing to lose mentality with these next three at bats. I'd love to see her just go all out for it, and not leave anything on the table.
Yeah, nothing to lose and no reason to hang her head either. Just enjoy where you're at and see if you can have a little bit of sixth inning magic. And they're going, if I'm not mistaken, they're going hit for hit right now. Is that correct?
Absolutely. So sixth inning format is hit for hit. Lilli Piper starts as she's the higher seed coming into this game. And we're going at bat for at bat. So this should add a little bit of drama to what we're doing here in the last inning. It also should give them a good opportunity to take some rest in between. That we're looking at a lot of at bats now between the two of them throughout the day. So hopefully gives them a chance to take a fresh hack on each pitch. But that's going to be the first out for Lilli again. Now only two more outs to work with, and a ride to the finals match hanging in the balance. But Emily Benson, relentless, not slowing down.
I mean, this is now a 35-run lead for Emily. She's been on a tear. It's tough to compete with that kind of momentum. Lilli with a quick second out here. She's down to her final out of this semifinals matchup, and it looks as though Emily Benson is going to be moving on to face Amber Schisler in the championship matchup, barring the unthinkable. But we will see what Lilli can do here. Like I said, though, tip your cap to Lilli. Shout out to Ohio State for putting this together, allowing her to compete in this. Shout out to DBAT, not just DBAT Columbia Basin, but all the ones involved, DBAT Harriman. I know there was quite a bit of other ones out in Texas and all over the country, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Kansas City stepped up big time. And just a whole community to put this tournament together and give these women an opportunity to compete, and compete they have. As you said, you got to tip your cap to Lilli Piper. She did a lot to get herself into this tournament. She did a whole lot to get herself this far. And so really just an impressive showing. I know she's not going to go down without a fight. And as I say that, a 281-foot bomb to left center field. So again, no quit in her. Good for you, Lilli Piper, and keep swinging at it. I mean, that's why we play the games. Crazier things have happened. It's not over until that final out.
Emily Benson, 85 miles an hour in the gap. That's just on repeat.
So winner here advances to the finals round against Amber Schisler. We have Lilli Piper down to her final out, but she is not giving up. And maybe she can, Andrew. I don't know. I know that it's a 30-run differential and only one out, but maybe she's got some magic beans in her pocket.
Yeah, I think it would, in fact, take some magic beans, but you do not know for sure. and the thing is here, though, Emily Benson, also a competitor. She's not going to stop. She's not throwing it in the bag either. She's still putting the balls in the gap left and right. So there's another hit from Lilli. She's very capable of putting up 15 to 20 runs plus, but it's also going to take, on the other side, Emily slowing down, which it doesn't appear to be happening. She's just is expanding on her lead. This is the kind of offensive matchup we expected, though. I don't know how many total runs there were in this semifinal, but both of these players absolutely deserve to be in the position that they are in, and it just turned out to be this third game. Emily found her groove on another level. Lilli, I feel like has found her groove as well too, and that'll do it. You can see her clapping it up. Lilli, great tournament, tipping her hat to Emily Benson. And Emily Benson is moving on. What a matchup between finals. These two.
Yeah, we could not have asked for a better series between Emily Benson and Lilli Piper. You continue to say it, but you got to tip your cap to Lilli Piper. An unbelievable performance, her fourth game of the day, but not enough to take down the Titan, Emily Benson, who's advancing to the finals tomorrow evening. And we are looking forward to the matchup against Amber Schisler. Both have had a significantly impressive run to get here to this finals matchup. And I know for real, I am excited.
I am too. This is exactly what we expected here from this tournament. I don't know if we expected 58 runs, but high offense, a lot of high velocity hits, unbelievable athletes so far. And we've got a couple of underdogs moving into the championship. So I believe we will get with the athletes and figure out when we want to run the championship, but it should be Monday or Tuesday from what I understand. I think, has that been determined yet, or are we going to figure that out and release an update?
Yep. So stay tuned to our social media channels. We will get in touch with Emily and Amber and DBAT Columbia Basin and EM Speed School. We'll find a time that works for everybody. It's going to be a 3-game series, so we will post that as soon as we lock down some times. And just know that it's going to be worth the wait. All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Congrats again to Emily Benson on moving on, and we'll see everybody soon.